What's up, everybody? It's Johnny Brown here with HauntScene. Joining me, as always, my lovely, beautiful,
I'm not blind anymore.
not blind as a bat, blue lens wearing Melissa Luke.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to HauntScene.
And excited for tonight's show.
I am too. Why is that,
Super
Johnny?
Excited. I don't know. We have a very special guest, somebody that we've been waiting to have on the show for a while. But first, a word from our featured brand. That's right. Tonight we're wearing Leviathan artwork. So go to leviathanartworks.com, buy all the things. I think at this point I officially have 7 of their shirts, so there is a good chance that I will die in one of these shirts.
I have 3 of them.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe I'll die in the death one.
You know what? This one's definitely mine. It says the Fool.
Okay, I'm wearing the siren one. Yeah, so very, very cool. So yeah, Leviathan Artworks, follow them on everything. And if you'd like to have your brand featured on the show, let us know, and we'll figure something out. But, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, very cool. All right, here we go. We have a very special guest in the studio. Feel free to ask questions. Please share this out. Thank you for watching, all that good stuff. Mr. Mike Aiello.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, man?
Hey.
How's it going,
in
Mike?
the
I'm
studio.
good. I'm good. We were admiring your amazing setup here
Aw.
at HauntScene Central.
Woo! He said our name.
Oh my
It is
God.
it is impressive. This is the most impressive podcast studio I think I've been in.
What?
That isn't like just a regular like radio studio.
Yeah.
Aw, that's
I'm
cool.
fangirling.
No, it's awesome.
That's very cool.
No, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank
This
you
is-
for joining us.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
is
we've
like-
always wanted to have you in and talk to you.
I feel
so
like I'm blushing now.
I am. I think I am too.
I'm
Hard to lie.
blushing.
You're turning red.
I'm blushing.
and I'm
Look,
tomato.
that is a huge compliment.
That's great.
I've always wanted to do like one of the shows from the studio in Universal Studios, but not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet.
No, this is great. I'm really
Very
flattered
cool.
you asked me to be on, and like I told you just before we started, this was kind of a nice beacon in the distance of a couple of weeks that have been like crazy at
Yeah.
work. So
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this. So again, thank you for
Yeah, of
asking
course.
me.
Very cool, very cool. Now, normally at the beginning of the show, we do what's called the elevator pitch, which gives you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience and saves us work. Because you get to tell us who you are, what you do, and then
Okay.
maybe some things that you're into.
Yeah, sure. My name's Mike Aiello. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I am a horror fan. I happen to have a really cool job that I've had for a long time, working at a local theme park here in Orlando, Florida, called Universal Orlando, and I get to create all kinds of cool stuff as a job. I love comics and I love wrestling. I am growing up, I was a huge David Copperfield fan. What else? I love taco salad.
We're going deep.
Taco
Yeah,
salad.
yeah, yeah,
Might
yeah.
want to type is B negative.
Yeah. And I've never killed anyone.
Oh,
That's not
That's-
neither have I.
I know.
We-
We have that in common.
All
that is good. See, look at
That-
that.
that's always good to know, Mike. Thank you for reassuring us in that.
Very cool. All right, so we're here to geek out about horror, talk about horror stuff. So we've got questions, and we have surprises, and we've got guest appearances, and all kinds of things tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, we've got people waiting outside in other rooms. Wouldn't that be weird?
Wait, for real?
Yeah, they've been sitting out there for like an hour.
You're kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Like, so,
Okay.
They're
yeah,
in my
No,
garage.
he was like having him hide in his bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
that's hilarious. Because I've been here for an hour. And if that was really happening,
They're under the table.
like kudos to that person for like hiding.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, let's start off with this easy one.
Okay.
What is the first horror movie you saw, and how old were you?
Yeah, it was Frankenstein.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Frankenstein. I was 6 years old. I was in my bedroom. My mom had just gotten me at a garage sale an old black and white TV that was on my dresser, and I probably was wearing ET pajamas.
Nice.
yeah,
and
the Empire Strikes Back sheets.
I did.
I knew you. Mike and I are the same age, by the
Yes.
way. So that is perfect. We're
So,
kindred spirits.
Imagine this juxtaposition. I had Empire Strikes Back sheets, but I was diehard Popeye fan. I had Popeye curtains and Star Wars ships on the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
So, and they come into play because I was watching Frankenstein like 6 or 7 years old. It was on one of the UHF channels,
Yeah.
real late at night, probably. And I my parents were never, even at a young age, were never really strict on bedtimes or anything like that. They kind of were just really cool like that. And a distinct memory for me is watching that film, and during the creation sequence when he's rising, you know, on the gurney, and all the lightning happening, and you know the McFadden machines and Strickfadden machines and all of that. And it would strobe my entire room. And I remember distinctly looking up at the ships that I had hanging in my ceiling, and the strobe kind of creating shadows from those ships
Oh,
on the
cool.
ceiling. And it's just this kind of indelible memory
Yeah.
that I have. And so the original Frankenstein,
The
which
original
is one of
Frankenstein.
my absolute favorites to this day.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah, classic monsters, boom.
Yeah.
Gotta love the
I
classic.
mean, that-
Dracula, my man.
HHN's been doing a lot of classic
Yeah.
masters.
Yep.
you know.
Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah.
Still waiting for the Invisible Man to make an appearance, though.
He's always in.
Yeah, he's there
Yeah.
every year.
Always there.
He's actually at the front gate every day. No one
The
ever-
the one they did in Hollywood a few years ago, and I went. They had the Invisible Man. He was like glowing, and he was floating.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
It was
that
a
house?
he did a UV
It
gag.
was like a UV
Yep.
light. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
awesome.
epic.
Cool.
It was epic. Yep.
Awesome. All right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. But, please don't ask anything about this upcoming event for HHN because NDAs. You
Yep.
know, things, you know, we can't talk about that stuff, but anything history-wise, feel free to bring that our way as
All
we...
the viewers just dropped
Yeah,
off.
I know, everybody falls
It's
off.
like, oh,
I
forget
guess
this.
I should not have
We lost like 20
advertised
viewers now.
HHN full reveal. I mean, whatever gets people in the door, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah,
Mike
very cool.
pulls out the speculation map.
Mike pulls out the real map. Awesome. All right. Well, we have an activity to warm us up to
Ooh,
talk
this is
about
gonna
horror.
be fun.
Okay. So I did point this out earlier. So we have a very scientific chart here of horror, and I think this is one of the best ways to represent this. So this is from one of my favorite movies,
Cabin in the Woods.
which is Cabin in the Woods. So we're not going to go over everything because I don't know if we have a movie with dismemberment goblins. Really ghoulies?
Probably
Yeah.
Goonies.
Something like that. Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ghoulies.
So what we're gonna do off the top of my head, and we're gonna try to do this in like under like 60 seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
We're gonna do like word association for Mike here.
Okay.
Do you need more time?
No.
We can make it 90 seconds.
Mike,
No.
He's got this.
You
No,
ready?
no.
Mike's
I'm
going
either
to the
I'm
whole
going to
movie.
succeed
You
or
got
I'm going to
this.
fail miserably,
No,
and I accept both outcomes.
We're gonna go over and we're gonna pick a beast from the thing or a monster, and first movie that pops in your head or your favorite if you can think of it that fast.
Okay.
All right. Werewolf.
American Werewolf in London.
I mean, he's wearing the shirt.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That's a
I mean,
given.
I know.
It-
That's an
Okay, let's
easy one.
do a hard one.
Alien.
It's Alien Day, so aliens.
Aliens. I love aliens. Or alien $, because that's my favorite way to say that. Mutants.
Hills Have Eyes.
Classic or remake?
Classic.
Okay.
You gotta stick with the classic, man.
Yeah. I mean, the new one was like torture porn kind of.
I didn't see the new one. I saw the last one.
I would Wraiths. The Wraith
I'm sorry. what?
machine.
What?
Sorry, it says Wraiths.
Wraiths.
Yeah.
You know
What
my
is
God,
that?
you know the first thing that popped in my head? Wraith being Ghost, so the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
I mean, that works.
Why was that the first thing that popped in my head?
Oh,
I want to mold
know.
pottery now
I
for some
mean,
reason.
so do I. Melissa wants to cut her hair really short.
Huh? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Why
I'm
was
good.
Ghost the first thing? I'm going to study this for weeks now.
And Wraith. Wraith's like an evil ghost. Wraith
Yeah.
like this.
Well, there were evil ghosts in that. Remember they
Yeah.
dragged what's his
Dude,
name
that was
away?
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Oh, Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Classic.
Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes. Witches.
Oh man.
You stumped Mike Aiello.
Well, no, because the first thing I thought of was The Witches, the Disney movie. I'm trying not to say that.
Focus, focus.
No, The Witches.
The Witches.
Yeah, with what's her name? Yeah,
Never heard of it.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, move on.
What's the one that's like Jack Nicholson?
I don't know.
The Witches.
Oh, Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know that one.
That's a good movie.
Well, I guess this is a bad follow-up on Sexy Witches.
Sexy.
Sexy Witches. Witches of Eastwick.
I mean, at the right age.
Yeah, right.
The Craft.
What was the one with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman? Pure Magic.
Oh,
They
never
were
saw
sexy
it.
at the time.
Never saw it.
I was thinking like
No, I was thinking The Craft.
that was saying Sexy Witches.
The Craft.
Oh, Craft.
You gotta go with
Yeah.
The Craft. Yeah.
Demons.
Evil Dead.
Ooh, I like that. It's funny you say that because the next one on this list is Angry Molesting Tree.
Poltergeist.
Wait, what?
Oh, nice. I was thinking Evil Dead, but that works too.
Although that tree's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you mean molesting, mean being to bug, to molest.
Yes.
No me molest us. Don't bug me.
Clip that.
Okay, let's clip that.
And then the next one, Deadites.
Well, Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I
Yeah.
mean,
Giant snake. You could do snakes on a plane.
That's that's
well, giant snake's Anaconda.
Anaconda.
yeah, giant snake. Okay.
Yeah. Or snake version of Freddy Krueger in Nightmare Part 3.
Ooh.
Okay. That's a good one.
He was snake-like.
Oh, well,
He
yeah,
was
there
very-
goes.
yeah.
Shout out to the house that was in there. Slasher film.
Oh, Halloween.
Halloween. Friday the 13th.
We already talked about. I was gonna say ghost movie. Do you want to take another shot at?
I already said Poltergeist. What was? Oh, The Entity.
Ooh.
Ghost ship.
Ghost Ship, sure.
That's a good one.
One of the best opening sequences ever. And then,
Yeah.
the movie, and the rest of the movie's like,
With
it's
with the
okay.
floor
Yeah.
and the cutting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never want to make a movie where you can't beat your opening scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that
Very
opening
true.
scene was wild.
Yeah.
Found footage movie.
Blair Witch Project
Yes.
or Paranormal Activity. I mean, these are the go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of them.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
been a lot. But yeah, but in Blair Witch, we'll go with the Pioneer.
There we go. Blair Witch kept me up for like days.
I
Yeah,
watched it once. It was
freaked me
really
out.
scary.
Vampires.
Oh, you know, the first pop in my head just now was Blade.
Blade.
Yep.
Nice. Very cool.
Underworld.
And let's see. I can't. Some of these are too specific. Let's go with Dolls.
Child's Play.
Hmm.
My son's favorite horror film of all time. My son's favorite horror character of all time.
Oh, very
It's
cool.
Chucky.
It's the first movie I started watching when I was a kid, actually.
I love
It
how
scared
your
me.
son
That
is
and-
like a mini you.
He's better than me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No,
He's a great kid,
so
yeah.
you were the alpha. He's like the beta.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's version 2.0.
Absolutely.
There we go.
And he's the improved version. Because that's what you want in your kids. You want your kids to be
Right.
better than you.
Exactly.
And that's the entire
With
goal.
twins, you can do The Shining.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yep.
Let's see.
You
The Huron. No, I'm just kidding. No.
reanimated. The reanimated.
Yeah, the animated.
Well,
There we
yeah, Reanimator or
Some,
Frankenstein.
Some,
Frankenstein.
some of these get pretty specific, so I think we're good with this list. Very cool. Good job.
Yay! I'm gonna treat myself
job,
to an
Mike.
Andy's Mint.
Very cool. All right, so if you have favorite movies from that list, please put them in the chat. Whichever one that you are watching. Let me actually bring up the chat right
That was
there.
fun. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty
That was
cool.
great. That was really cool.
All right, 13 Ghosts. People love 13 Ghosts. As
It
above,
is-
so below.
Or 13 Ghosts.
Very cool.
I thought when someone said 14 Ghosts, I thought that was the second
Right.
movie.
It's funny that when you're like pressured to think of the first thing, it's usually the most popular thing you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
But you want to be cool,
But yeah, you want to be
so you
cool.
don't say Ghost.
Huh?
I would side with that was clever in the fact that it's. No, that was bad.
You're like, yeah.
You said very good.
But I don't
Good
know.
job.
Shadow people at the end were pretty terrifying.
That was scary.
That was kind of out of, and yeah. that
Yeah.
was, All right. So what else do we got here? Good job on that. Very cool. All right. So we know that you love lots and lots of horror movies.
Yes.
Why don't you ask this one right here, number 4?
Which one?
4.
Okay, Mike. So you are stuck on a desert island.
Mhm.
You can only bring one go-to movie. What movie would you bring?
Well, the go-to is always Halloween, but let's say that wasn't available.
Yeah,
for
let's say
whatever
Halloween
reason.
wasn't available. What would be your
Um,
next go-to movie?
You know what? Probably The Fog.
Ooh.
Oh, the original?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The original?
No, we don't talk about.
We don't talk about the remake?
I didn't
No,
even know
no,
they
no.
remade the fall.
Yeah, there was a remake. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
remake
with
of The Fog.
Tom Welling,
Yeah.
Superman.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not. It wasn't. It wasn't the original.
It was a horror movie.
Very cool.
No, Fog, and considering it's a kind of an island town or coastal town, that would
Yeah.
be.
That would make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So what? Well, I've got somebody in my ear right now. I'm being told that we need to go to a commercial break.
Oh, we
What's
do need it.
happening?
Let's
for,
do a
for
commercial break.
our
next,
first corporate sponsor.
Our next question, Mike,
All right.
involves
so,
a commercial.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm so nervous.
Wow, that smells good. What is it? It's the new slow roast pork barbecue
Oh my
sub.
goodness.
Delicious, tender slow roast pork and a smoky
Wait
barbecue
till you
sauce
see
with
what
your choice
happens
of
here.
veggies on fresh baked gourmet bread.
thought I was
It's Subway
talented, you didn't think I
Restaurant's
was this
latest
talented.
taste sensation. Can I have a bite? Okay, thanks. And at just $1.99 for a regular
baby.
6-inch sub, you can always order
Yeah,
yourself
I'll
another.
Nope, I took that whole thing.
Subway. Wow. Choose well.
Oh man.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
so good.
That
You knew that was coming.
That was
No, I had no idea. That's the
showed me-
last thing I would have thought of.
He showed me that commercial earlier, and that's amazing.
So yeah, that was back in my I'm gonna be an actor days. Yeah, I did a lot. I was the if you ever rode Disco H2O at Wet and Wild, the entire commercial campaign for that. I was the creator of the ride.
Oh, that's cool.
He,
That's
Fred,
cool.
Nims, Michael Burnett did the life cast.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's that paid the bills for a little while. The commercial, not the ability.
How'd you get into doing the commercial for Subway? Did you just like
Auditioned.
they
Yeah,
just
I had an
auditioned
agent.
for it? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I had an
cool.
agent like from
That's
90
so cool.
from like 99 until 2005 until I started my full-time job as a show director
Oh,
for
that's
the parks.
cool.
I have an
That's so
agent.
cool.
Which means you have headshots.
Yeah.
I do have headshots. I do.
We
And
got-
they are.
You have to bring those next time
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll pin it to the wall.
you come by. I would.
That amongst all of your horror things is like the scariest picture you could possibly
Literally
see.
fucking post my Aiello's headshots.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
No, my pre, theme park creative life was all performing, all acting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you've had many roles with Universal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was my school. Like that place has been my school for everything. Like I've been there since I was
2005.
17.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hmm
Universal?
Yeah, I started in '96.
No, actually in the 90s he started on the Jaws, right?
26 years.
Yeah.
26 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I literally been there my entire adult life.
Wow. That is. There are worse jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, that place is, again, there is a method to working really hard.
Yeah.
And people can see it, and they will help you.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
That is awesome.
All right. We got a question here in the chat. Sam Zimmerman. Is there a movie that represents the line for you? Like something where you're like, I'm good, like Human Centipede, that kind of thing.
Oh, I have never seen a Serbian movie.
Okay. I think
Oh,
somebody
like-
did ask about that specifically.
No, I won't. I won't
Yeah,
watch
there are.
what is
I've,
Serbian?
it's like those ultra violent, extreme snuff type
Yeah.
horror movies.
that. And again, I will never discount someone that enjoys watching that style of horror film. It's just not for me.
Gotcha.
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, there are certain things that like I'm not into. Like I'm not into. I love the movie representation of serial killers,
Mhm.
but I don't like real serial killer
Oh,
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
are really into that.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that right there.
Mine would probably be Possession. Like The Exorcist, I can't watch it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's just not my
It-
not my thing.
It strikes a chord.
It does. Oh
of-
yes.
That
Yeah.
feels real to you.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, I totally
By
get that.
far. Yep.
Yeah, for me, it's just about when it gets to a point where it's like it's making me uncomfortable for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like obviously, we want horror to make us. We want horror to challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why we watch it. That's why we love it. We want that adrenaline rush. We want that. We want to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain horror films that is a test I don't want to take.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
That's that. Then that's all it has to be.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, I could do like the Conjuring and like the
Yeah.
Annabelle movies and
And
things
I don't
like
mind
that. Yeah, I don't mind those.
the torture porn, the
Yeah.
saws and the
Saw
hostels
movie,
and
yep.
no, but there's certain themes I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
need that to enter this brain right
Yeah.
Same.
I don't want to have to bleach my eyeballs later.
now.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna bounce in and out of different things here because I want to get some questions in, and I also have some questions here for here. So Josh Bosch here, what is your favorite concept that hasn't been done, like let's say with Horror Nights,
Yeah.
and that won't be done?
Oh.
But what was your favorite to come up with the ideas you can talk about? So I guess it's a multi-part
man.
right there.
This is always a tough one because it's like there's always concepts out there that you could shift and change and maybe do something with eventually. The joke I always had for a long time is doing a haunted maze completely underwater. Like, how would that ever happen? How could you do that? Obviously, people have to be scuba trained and all those things. But
Mhm.
It's
like,
terrifying.
there's
That would be
actually a
terrifying.
movie I haven't watched yet. But it's called the Deep House. It's literally a haunted house movie with a house that's under the water. I think I got that title
Oh my
right.
God,
If
that
someone
was-
knows
that's,
that
like,
title and I said it
horrifying.
wrong, let me know.
That would
That
that
is,
would
like,
strike my fear.
literally my worst nightmare.
My fear of drowning.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
it's literally
Yeah.
it's a ghost movie with a house under the water, and it's scuba divers going through this house. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen trailers, and I really want to watch it.
Yeah.
But like
God.
that idea is terrifying for so many reasons. Like
Yeah.
the confined space. Imagine confined space and underwater.
In underwater.
It's like when you watch spelunkers go to caves, and they're literally like 5 inches
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
trying
good.
to wedge
I
themselves.
could never do that. I
Like
have
that.
claustrophobia.
That would be an interesting idea. I have no idea how you would achieve that, much less in a theme park setting.
Nice.
So that's probably a concept that would never see the light of day at Universal.
Yeah.
Or
But
maybe with an upcharge.
with a slide up charge. Yeah, it's
Slide
it's part of the RIP program. Yeah.
And scuba trained. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, looks like we got some other celebrities in here. We got some folks from the Hornets group, so thank you all for tuning in. We've got this is your opportunity to ask questions about the past. We also have Clinton in here from Thrill Geek, who's a
Hey.
big good friend of ours.
Yes.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so they're thinking about stuff right here. Okay, so getting into your experiences with horror and all that stuff, have you ever met a horror celebrity that you've just fanboyed over?
Oh, yes. Here's the bottom line. I'm a fan first. I'm constantly fanboying and keeping it inside as best I can.
like I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm
Like,
containing my fangirling.
I've met Rick Baker. So
So, yes.
Academy Award, first Academy Award ever, American Werewolf in London. So yeah, we met him when we were doing the year we did the Wolfman.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
nice.
remake. I was out in Hollywood and I was with John Murdy, my good friend John Murdy, and he visited the park and got to kind of be there when he was getting toured around the park and talk to him. And Murdy and I were both like fanboying out, and I think Murdy had met him once before because he's the LA guy, he meets everybody.
Yeah.
But I hadn't, and that was one of those kind of pinch me moments, absolutely, where
That's
it's like this guy.
Epic. Yeah.
And is an absolute legend and did some of the most amazing makeups. I just got his book. There's like a double
Oh, wow.
volume book that he put out called I think it's called Metamorphosis, and it's 2
Mhm.
volumes, massive, huge books. It's his entire career and full color photos. So yeah, Rick
man.
Baker would be the one that I probably fanboyed the most about, and then desperately tried to keep it inside the entire time, but the whole time going, this is freaking awesome.
This
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah, Rick Baker and winning the first award. I've heard that fact somewhere before.
I know, I did too. Where did you hear that?
We've heard that before. Somewhere.
Probably from my wife.
Maybe it'll come up
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. All right, very cool. All right, so what we got here? Well, I don't want to get negative. Why you always gotta be negative? Do you have a least favorite encounter with someone? Mike is so nice to everybody.
Exactly.
No, here's the thing. Every encounter, you're going to learn something about somebody,
Yeah.
and the takeaway's got to always be positive no matter what, because you
Yeah.
got to walk away going, I did what I could,
Yep.
Yeah.
I cannot say from a celebrity standpoint that I've ever met anybody that was honestly like horrible. People are on their own wavelength sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're either in tune or you're not, and
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing that's the risk you take engaging,
And this is
Um,
with people in general, though. It's just not like celebrities, but
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
with people in general. You know?
But no, I can't recall a time where. Now there have been times where I'm like, I probably won't want to meet that person again. That was fine. That once was great. It's not even connected to the event, just in general. But yeah, no, I can't really recall a celebrity that I've met that was like, that guy's awful. No, I can't.
I've met a lot of them through like conventions and stuff. Like I met Bruce Campbell, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And some other horror movie actors that were
Yeah.
great. I've never really had a bad experience with one, so they were all great.
And again,
So-
I always got to go into any interaction, especially someone that is a celebrity, and if they are in a mode where they're meeting people and they're there for whatever reason, you got to try and relate to how are they coming into the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something you got to do.
Yeah. Speaking of which, and I have to say this, Mike, we've met years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like, holy crap,
I know.
like like Horror Nights like 23 or 4 or something like that.
Probably.
Like I know people
Yeah.
probably known you longer than that, but
First time I met you, I think was
But
2013.
but
So
from-
about 10 years ago.
I from the first time I met you till now, you have always been super kind to everybody. You always make time to talk to people and answer questions and things like that. You are like one of the most accessible, nice teddy bear people out there. So I just wanted to put that out there. So
Well, I
if you
appreciate
ever
that.
see Mike, don't try. Just say hi if you need to, because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I mean, I obviously with Horror Nights and the passion people have for the event and the passion people have for people that
Mhm.
that are behind some of the things in the event, it is not it's not lost on anybody that works on the event, nor like nothing's taken for granted for what we get to do and
Mhm.
how the event affects people, you
Yeah.
know, in hopefully really positive ways. And yeah, we should always be curators of positivity and just kindness, because the other way is just harder.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
You guys
It's harder
are, I
to be.
agree.
It's harder to be mean. It really
You're
is.
you're very humble, and a lot of people in that industry is very humble people, very nice people.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And again, all it is just it's brought up right. You just be
Yeah.
kind to people. It's
Exactly,
Like, it's
yeah.
not hard.
And even like we had a conversation, I mean, God, this was long, years and years ago. I was actually asking you about like, when some people are flipping out about what they like or don't like about Horror Nights, you were like, you know what, I see both of it, but I love just the passion, because if people didn't care, they wouldn't be happy or mad or whatever. So that is a good segue
Mhm.
to a very special shout out that was sent to us today for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
You have one of these. So this is going to be the first one here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hey HauntScene, this is Scott Garland, Scott Taylor, Scotty Too Hottie, or lukewarm, whatever you want to call me these days. But hey, I just wanted to send this message. I know you have the rock star of Halloween Horror Nights, Mike Aiello, on there tonight. And as I get older, I find that I'm drawn to passion and people with passion. And I think that's what drew me towards Mike in the first place. The very first day we ever met was his passion for what he does. And that's why the haunt community loves him so much. I've literally walked through Halloween Horror Nights with him, and I've seen the respect that he gets from the fans there. Not only, like I said, is he the rock star of Halloween Horror Nights, but those fans, those diehard fans of Horror Nights, appreciate him, and they know that he's genuine, and they know that he's passionate about what he does. So Mike, thank you so much for your passion, and it's so cool to see you do everything you do, and you're an inspiration to me and to my kids and to anybody else out there to go find their passion and do what they love. So hey, one of these days we're gonna get together when we're both home at the same time. So always good to see you guys. HauntScene, take care.
I love Scott.
He's
Oh,
nice.
Love
he
Scott. He
is-
is an awesome guy.
So yeah, so
Mhm.
Horror Nights is how he and I connected. And you want to talk about? Here's another moment where you're like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" I'm a hardcore
Yeah.
wrestling fan.
Yep.
So, and I grew up Attitude Era, Scotty Too Hottie, when he was, when he was wrestling nightly on Monday nights.
Have you ever done the worm?
I cannot do it.
I mean, I would
my
probably hurt
body,
myself.
my body is unable to do that. But he is an amazing person and hardcore Horror Nights fan, hardcore theme park junkie. Like just love
Like
theme
Haunt
parks.
fan.
Haunt
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
And to be able to connect with him and become, he's one of my best friends in the entire world now. And and that wouldn't have happened unless he didn't love Horror Nights and I hadn't worked Horror Nights. Like that's just another way we've been able to connect. And I marked out on him. Like I was like, holy crap! Like, I remember driving home, calling my wife, going, "Oh my god, I just hung out with Scotty Too Hottie." And he's like, "Oh my gosh," because like Summer and I would go watch Monday Night Raw every Monday at our buddy Hunter's house every single week during the height of the Attitude Era, and now he's one of my best friends.
That's
so
awesome.
He's amazing, and
He's such a cool
his
guy.
children are amazing. His son is also a huge Horror Nights fan.
Mhm.
I remember one of the first times I ever met him, he showed me his Halloween photo. He was Jack the Clown for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
So yeah, no, that's very, very sweet, and He's a good man, very good man.
And you have multiple connections with wrestling because Austin Romero.
Austin Romero.
Yes,
Yep.
my brother from another mother
Yeah.
is Austin, aka Mike Rome.
Nice,
On,
super nice guy. Yeah, I
on
met him
Monday
through
Night
Hornets.
Raw, the
Yeah.
voice of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
very
he's
cool.
he's amazing.
I-
He's all
I-
over the place too.
He
man.
is.
Yeah,
I sent him a message to do a video for you too, but he didn't see it.
He's somewhere doing something
He's
crazy.
somewhere doing
Oh,
something
no,
else.
You
he's-
run into him at like Spooky Empire and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's always down here for spooky conventions and stuff like that. So I always see him at spooky.
yeah, he's a busy man.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Let's see. We got a question from Josh earlier, and this is going to tie into another question. Let's say that your house is burning down, Mike,
Okay. All right.
and besides your
My
wife
family.
and children
Sure.
and
And,
pets,
my dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
besides that,
Okay, so they're out.
you,
They're
you
safe.
can
They're out. They're- yes,
only
they're already out.
save one object, one piece of memorabilia or whatever. What would you take with you?
Ooh boy.
The difficult questions.
That's tough. Okay. I would probably search through my Blu-rays to find I have a completely cast and crew signed copy of Christine.
Oh wow!
Oh wow. Okay.
I would
All
find
right.
that.
That's fair.
That
If
is
that's the one thing, yeah, I would find that.
okay.
Okay.
It's everybody front, back, inside the
That's epic.
the sleeve. It's signed everywhere.
That's totally
That is
something you would
cool.
say.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would save that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
Aw.
that's also one of my favorite movies.
There was no automobile on this.
Which is funny. There should have been.
I know.
Yeah.
Like killer car.
Yeah, killer
Hold on,
car.
there's like some kind of
Or-
robot thing on here.
Some kind of vehicular
Yeah, 'cause they
homicide.
have the robot thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Where is it? Do you see it?
No.
No, there is like a little like transformer evil. I think it might have been Reptilius.
It
or
might have
okay.
been. Yeah. It might have been.
some
Yeah.
other name. I don't know. There's some like unknown things that we don't even know from the movie there. Very cool. So we have a question here. What is the most rewarding part of the creative process for you? And on the other end of that, what is the most challenging part?
Okay. The most rewarding creative part of the process is well, it's my favorite part of the process is the blue sky realm because like it's no holds barred at that point. But I think my favorite part is well, the truth is that my favorite part is seeing the team succeed. And no one really, unless you're doing it, you don't understand all the things that occur between the time the idea happens and opening night, and then even after. It's impossible to understand how many amazing, how you succeed and all the failures and challenges that happen along the way, even with an event and a maze or house or process that we've done for 30 years.
Mm.
Every year is still completely different in how things come together. So I think the most rewarding is getting it done, and that the team was able to succeed and are proud of the work that happened, regardless of the challenges or the things that, God, I wish we had done that. Because there's a million of those.
Yeah.
No one, unless you're doing it, you don't. Anybody that's in a creative process understands there are things that you see in your head that may not happen the way
Yeah.
in reality, the way it's supposed to. So the fact that anyone can create anything from scratch, that's a feat. It really is. And then if you're doing it with a team of people who all have responsibilities and all have to check their own boxes, and that they have to come together collectively and achieve that together, it's amazing anything actually happens when you've got the right people with the right talent and the right passion, that it all comes to life. And so I think, yeah, seeing it happen, but at the same time, seeing the satisfaction from the team that is able to bring it to life, that's like the coolest part.
Cool.
And the content's pretty darn cool too.
Yeah. It's got, I mean, you probably find yourself like alone in like a Halloween Horror Nights house, maybe before or after the event or before it's open to the public. And you've taken some pictures. Like one of the most heartbreaking pictures I think I've ever seen was you took a picture when they were taking down Evil Dead
Oh yeah.
with the trap door.
I remember that.
And you
Yeah.
posted that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
because we just pretend that Halloween Horror Nights just just magically is whisked away to another dimension, and it was like all disheveled and like destroyed and
And
stripped
how
down.
fast it happens.
And
that
it's
that
so
event
quick.
deconstructs obviously faster than it's constructed, because it takes us, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks to get each maze up. But
Wow.
and it's literally hours sometimes for some of those soundstage mazes to come down.
And some nights, like you're walking out of Horror Nights on the very last night, they're actually just taking apart of the scare zones too, as you're walking,
Oh, you're like,
as you're literally
oh,
walking
like
out of it.
unlike the last night
Yeah.
when they turn all the lights on and the music stops
Yeah.
and you're doing the walk of shame out,
Yeah.
and you're just like, Curtis!
Yeah.
No!"
But you said that too, because there's moments you
Yeah.
brought up, just like sitting in an empty maze or haunted house, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
I remember doing that for when we finally did the original Halloween film in 20. Oh God, they all run together. 2013,
2014, 16, and 18.
Don't murder me,
Trust me,
fans. I'm sorry. I don't know all the
I
years.
remember because I love the Halloween houses. They were probably some of my favorites.
I don't know.
I love them.
It all starts
Yeah.
to run together. But I remember sitting in the living room, and the all the lighting was on. It was kind of our last kind of technical walkthrough, and sitting on the couch and watching Thing from Another World play on the screen that was in the room in that house, and just sitting there going, "Holy cow, this is happening! Like, we did this.
That's cool.
Like, this is like I'm sitting in
Oh,
our
that's an awesome
version of the
moment,
living
yeah.
room. Like, that was a really awesome moment. And yeah, there's a ton of memories like that of just looking at a facade and going, we did this. Like, that's real now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part.
I love that term, blue sky. Actually,
With the ceiling.
there
There is
with the
never
ceiling,
true blue sky. Blue sky always
you
has
just-
a ceiling.
it's like Truman Show. You're gonna bump your head on
That's
at some
right.
point.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because
That's cool.
there's a certain amount of feasibility you have to, in order to make blue sky effective, especially in a world where you know your budget already. That ceiling is the budget.
Yeah.
You've got to think outside the box, but also realistic to know that it's also got to be actionable.
Oh, very, very cool.
Little nuggets. There you
Yeah,
go.
Little things. We do have a question here from Layla. What is the house that took the longest to be put together?
Well, there's a ton of reasons why a house would take longer than typically it would. Sometimes the level of scenic may have been scheduled too thin, you know. That's a hard question. I can't really recall a specific maze that may have taken too long. I mean, the construction, the manufacturing of our mazes is a science now. It is rare, unless there's some type of act of something way beyond our control that has to force a change on that maze. It is a pretty strict process of how that all works. Every discipline, from construction to scenic, are all given the amount of time based on history of how long it typically takes. Give or take a day. Sometimes we could go a week and go, we'll give this an extra week. We'll just bring in this other discipline a little bit later. They'll move on to this maze instead, and we'll bring them back and do this one. So there's a lot of, our production team is masterful at that jigsaw puzzle that, you know, as you're constructing 10 mazes, how that all has to kind of happen and work together.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Speaking of blue sky and team member,
Okay.
we have another shout out for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You want to guess?
I
Hey,
could.
HauntScene, this is Scott.
hold
Scott
on.
Garland.
Not
Scott
again.
Taylor. Scott Too
Hold
Hottie.
on.
He did two.
He did two. It's just Scott over and over again.
Well, he is Scotty Too Hottie.
This is true. This is true.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so this one is project. This is the code name Starfish. I don't know why I thought you would see the names or something like that, because you're not going to, but I called this one Starfish. And
Starfish.
well, it is
Hey.
a trick.
Is this the Mike Aiello request line? Whew. Good. I got something to say to that guy.
I'm sure you do.
I want him to hear it. Well, Mike, here we are again. You know, you sitting in the studio, or you're home, or on an airplane.
Sure yet.
Okay, you might not even be sitting. You might be standing up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there. And here I am.
Out of breath.
Fucking sweating my balls off. Walking my dog, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that Johnny reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to give a shout out to you because you're spending some time with them this evening. And I said, yeah, of course. It's Mike, it's Mike. It's not my dog. That's my dog. But you're not my dog. You're Mike Aiello. And so, yeah, I'm not going to give a shout out to my dog, but I'll give a shout out to Mike. So here I am. I'm going to give you a shout out.
Thanks.
And say, let's see. Well, I can tell you that, you've sometimes been a leader of mine, and you've sometimes been a mentor, and you've sometimes been somebody who I have scared the ever-living shit out of from jumping underneath the desk, out from underneath the desk, or behind a door, or pretty much anywhere I could find to scare you. And despite that, despite, what you've had to put up with me as you've been my leader, or the advice that I have willfully ignored when you were my mentor, or the different times you really wanted to pound the crap out of me after scaring you all those times, I can say this with all surety that that all the time you are my friend, and I appreciate you. All right, have a good time with Johnny and Melissa tonight, and we'll catch up soon. Lunch, beers on me. All right, brother, love you.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
You're getting all emotional in here.
I know.
I was not expecting all this.
Patrick.
My
he's
goodness.
he's such a good
Patrick is
person.
awesome. He's such an awesome guy.
Yeah, so he made it quite a routine to hide in places around art and design and literally he for a long time he hid under my desk for longer than he probably should have, waiting for me
He's
to
under
come
the
back.
desk now.
That was in the room. And
That would be hilarious. That would be
it
dedicated.
would have been awesome if we would have set that up though. And he would just pop out of
Maybe next time.
the
Yeah,
table and
yeah.
scare you.
Well, no,
See,
now I'm gonna look for it.
no,
Now I'm
he's
gonna
gonna
look for
know.
it.
So he would
Yeah.
just pop out of random places and just scare you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, and then because he learned that from if you remember met Kim Grommel.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if tangent story, sorry, real fast.
We've got time.
We're literally in art and design, and we way back. This is years ago. It was the year Walking Dead premiered, not at the event, but the series.
Mhm.
2010.
So we are in art and design, which at that point our kind of brainstorming room was formerly a utility closet. Okay, so there's 5 people sitting in this utility closet that's now become our brainstorming room, and we're watching Walking Dead, the premiere, and the opening scene is the pajama
Yep.
girl.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm in there, and David Hughes is across from me, and I think Braillard was in there, and we're watching. It's right when he pulls the trigger, okay, and shoots the zombie girl. Right as that happens, Kim Grommel had hid in the cabinet underneath the TV and flies out of the cabinet, and they all knew he was there. I didn't, and literally my lunch, everything went everywhere, everywhere. And he was in that cabinet. He had to be in there like 20 minutes. There was commitment.
Yeah.
Total
And
commitment.
next time we're gonna get Kim and Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They are
Scare him.
ruthless.
They're in your back seat.
I would
They're
love
ruthless. I'm gonna check now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check when I walk out of here.
That's so funny. I'd love to see
cool.
you get scared. Like I always thought you were the type of person who didn't
No,
get scared that
no,
easily.
We still get scared.
I get scared. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love to get scared, and it's so
Yeah.
rare when you're walking the event you help create, because it's like almost impossible. But when a character does, oh my gosh, like it's applause
Yeah.
all around.
They're probably gunning for you.
Oh, I'm sure, like if they know any of us are coming, that there's some sort of like hand signal or like vocal chain password that goes through the maze to try and scare us. But what's funny, like 30th anniversary was an event I knew nothing about because I was on another project at the time. That was the first year that I'm coming to the event cold.
Oh wow.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. It felt like being back in the early 90s with my father again, going through that event, not knowing anything.
Oh, it's so
And it was so awesome. I had never not had that feeling in a long time. So kind of stepping away and then coming back, it made me really appreciate the event again. Not that I don't, but there was like this new layer on it going, man, it's really cool when you don't know where everything's coming from.
Yeah, we can going completely fresh.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, what do we got in here? Okay, so Crystal here. Any advice for people interested in getting into theme park event design productions type of career path? And I know you get this question a lot because it's like every
Yeah, yeah.
design forum and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm sure you have a quick answer.
Yeah, well, the quick answer is it's never been easier to learn how to do this stuff because I'm from the era where we learned as we went. Like again, like my path is different than anybody else's path, who's different than anybody else's path. Like that's the unique thing about this industry. But that's actually gotten less and less now because so many schools are offering theme design now.
Oh, that's cool.
So like you can literally, get a degree in themed and themed entertainment, themed design. Like that exists now. So like that, like when I'm looking at my son, like this is a path he wants to maybe able to take. So there's all these places that offer this now. So like there's that. But then I think also at the same time, the goal should not be wanting to create a theme park. The goal should be to want to create. So start there. If you're not creating right now, create something.
Something.
Yeah, do something. Again, you're going to find what you love about it and the path that you kind of find yourself in. Like I love to write. That was my path into art and design. Was I loved writing sketch comedy. I was a part of a couple of sketch comedy groups and I just really loved writing that. Never went to school for it. Just had a passion for it and was able to kind of figure out how it all kind of works. And then that was my way into writing Bill and Ted.
Oh, that's so cool.
As a seasonal writer. And then from there, it just happened, which is a unique path. Like that doesn't happen much anymore
Right.
because
Mm-hmm.
you can't give a script to somebody anymore because, legal's like, can't take scripts with unsolicited, but yeah, if you want to create and then find yourself into a business that allows that you get paid to do that, so yeah, the goal isn't to create theme park stuff. The goal is just to create and see what happens.
And you'll end up where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It falls into place.
Yeah.
Question from the chat here on Facebook. Sean, what kind of effect did you find the most challenging to pull off? Or maybe most elaborate type thing?
I'd probably say just because we had never done it, probably the wolves in American Werewolf was probably at the time
Those were pretty epic. Yeah.
one of the more elaborate things because we had always avoided, up to that point we avoided a lot of puppetry in the maze just because it takes such a beating. And how do you do it so that it can at least last the amount of rotations that our mazes go through that's so unique in the haunt world.
Yeah.
Because we are a really unique animal in how our mazes are presented due to the capacity and all of those things. So to be able to, like, we would not have even considered American Werewolf at all if we hadn't figured out how to do the puppet because there was no alternative. Like, we were not going to do a costume. We were not going to put somebody, on their hands and knees and try and figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been
Obviously, you need
comfortable.
2 people.
Well, yes.
Like a horse costume.
Yeah, like the front and the back. Yeah.
Well, technically you need one
All
person.
right, Patrick, we're going to try this out. Get back there.
Technically you need one person in a wheelbarrow to push the wheelbarrow,
that's true.
But yeah, figuring that out, because that was a do or die. Like if we could not figure out the puppet, we weren't going to do the maze. Like it was not going to
And the puppet was just so realistic
Yeah.
too to begin with.
It
though,
was
like
beautiful.
just in the maze itself, it just looked so realistic.
It turned out so
It
well.
was awesome.
And yeah, and again, the maze literally lived or died based on the success of that.
It's
Yeah,
super
and
terrifying.
then they brought it right back.
And then they
too.
brought it right back
We
the
did, 'cause
year
it was
after,
awesome.
which
You're like, yeah.
2 years. I
Yeah,
think.
2 years after.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you twist my arm. This is so bad that they have to bring it back.
it was it was epic, and it was I love how they bring it back, and it was the same maze too that they brought back.
we
And they tweaked it a little bit.
we added
right?
a wolf.
Yep.
We added a wolf to
Yeah.
the Piccadilly. There wasn't one in there was one at the bus.
Yeah.
And we added one right as you walked in and there was a 90-degree angle scare right there with another wolf.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, so I have a question. So, and we got this is inspired by Justin's question right here. How do you settle on house ideas? But I want to ask a question. Like, there are houses that people clamor for years and years and years.
Mhm.
Like, people were clamoring for Killer Clowns from Outer Space for years and years and years. And what is it that makes that turn that corner to where that could be a possibility?
Yeah. So Killer Clowns, that's a great example because that's one that was a white whale for me for years and years and years and years, and literally laughed at, of like, why would you do that? Like, from not our team, but just individuals that were like, no, this is like the era we're doing Walking Dead. It's like, how many millions of people are watching that? That's going to be a brand. Killer Clowns, like a movie on VHS that was on HBO a couple times. No, we're not doing that. I think it was a case of just wearing people down because like I literally pitched it every year, and the common ground we found was, well, let's do it as a scare zone. We don't want to commit to a full maze. Let's do a scare zone and see what happens. And we all know what happened. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Huge. It was Trick or Treat.
huge.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Trick or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Killer Clowns, like and it was kind of a little bit of serendipity in that, like, as that scare zone happened, there was also this resurgence in like the merch and the awareness of that brand beyond the cult following, us that just really love that movie, maybe have grown up with it.
Mhm.
I remember it was like the cable movie you
Yeah.
watched, So around the same time, there was this resurgence of that brand that just kind of happened right alongside that scare zone. And it was a huge hit. People that don't even know the movie just loved the characters, and that was really what I was hoping for too. Is
Yeah.
that
Right.
they just look so cool. They're unlike any clown that you've seen.
Right.
Any
Yeah,
horror
they were
clown.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were fun and silly.
Yeah, I mean, the
You know?
Kyoto brothers just nailed the
Mhm.
designs of all those distinct characters, and they're fun and they're
Yeah.
scary and they're
Unique.
Yeah.
zany.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the things you want in kind of a B movie feeling type movie, and then as a zone,
Mhm.
and then being able to do the maze the next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
it's a gateway that worked both ways because
I mean,
I didn't
yeah.
watch Killer Clowns because I never sat down and watched it until they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna be a
I
scare
never watched
zone.
it
I'm
until
like,
it
oh, I
came-
better watch it. So people that are interested in that do that.
Yeah, I was the same. I never watched it until I
Yeah.
heard it was coming to Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So
That was a lot of people, and
yeah.
that is also one of the main goals. At least since I've been involved with the event, is trying to get at least one of the mazes that we do, or the haunted houses, to be something that is a gateway. That whomever the age, if you've never saw this movie,
Mhm.
well, maybe you'll experience it here, and then you're going to want to go home and see, well, what was all the fuss about?
Right.
I think that was a key to American Werewolf as well.
Yeah.
It's any of those, like those early 80s,
Cult.
late 70s kind of cult
Yeah, those
esque
80s movies, yeah.
And again, we're that's always a goal, to try and find one that can be that, so that someone my son's age comes and goes, what's Killer Clowns?
Yeah.
Well, here, let's watch it.
Well, I mean, for like Caden, it might be, well, we're doing 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about
Sorry,
like
if we get it
yeah.
20 years from now, that's fine.
I would be okay with that. And that's the thing about like I liked about Horror Nights is it kind of caters to different things. Like
Yeah.
it caters to older 80s movies. It
Yep.
caters to newer horror movies and newer shows.
Yeah.
So different,
and the
different
originals.
types of people.
Like that's
And the
the other
originals.
great thing I love about the event. And again, it's how I became a fan of the event. Most of us that have gone to the event for 30 years is the originals, like being able to create those stories.
The originals are always my favorite.
Absolutely.
Just original content, original.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the
houses, the
team
best.
working on it now.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Charles and Blake, who moved. He's working a park in Tennessee now.
What?
We got a
Did he really?
sure did. Got an
Oh,
awesome job.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, full creative director for a theme park in beautiful park. Oh my god, the name's escaping me. The gorgeous park in the mountains in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the gang and Laura and the entire design team right now that's working on the event. I'm kind of this. I'm a guiding hand as needed now in the event. Because I'm working on a lot of
Yeah.
other things.
That's the Godfather.
But
He is the guy. He's the Godfather. The Godfather of
but man,
HHN.
the team right now is just knocking out the park, and the originals they're coming up with are
Yeah.
just fantastic. Leaps and just huge beyond anything that any originals that I was a part of. The stories that Charles and the team are doing right now are just
I just love the
really,
stuff that
really
they can
good.
just create.
Yeah.
Like their minds can
Yeah.
create. That's why I like the originality. Like
like Dylan's one of the designers. Like
Mhm.
that kid, I say kid, he's in his early 20s, but
Mhm.
I feel like he's been there since he was like 16.
He's also very young looking.
He is very young
Dylan?
looking,
Dylan,
but
Dylan, last name.
Culliff,
That's right.
yeah,
Okay.
he's a rock star. That dude
He's
is
also
a rock
he's
star.
also that fan that did
Absolutely.
put the time in to take that next thing.
Mhm.
So he's a
Absolutely.
perfect example of that question that we had earlier. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know Dylan. We've met a bunch of times.
Have I?
Yeah, the design forum and the thing he signed the.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's someone to watch.
yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of small. You got to make sure you catch him. He hides behind stuff.
Oh, so I can easily like look over him. Like, Dylan, where'd you go?
Very cool. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. I don't mind if we go over, but I know you gotta.
I'm good. I'm
you
here
got
for you.
stuff.
So
Okay, so let's do this one right here. Let's do that one.
Which one?
8.
Who would you like to meet, living or dead?
Boris Karloff.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That would be a fun conversation.
Hmm.
I hope. You know, it's a case you never meet your heroes kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boris Karloff. That'd be an awesome conversation.
That
Just to
would
hear
be.
his trials and tribulations working with Pierce and the makeup and
I think meeting Jack Pierce would be kind of cool.
oh,
too.
Jack Pierce would be
And just
amazing.
seeing all the stuff
Just,
that he did. Yeah.
having this big seance and you're having this
Yeah.
big circle makeup SFX like century wide sit down with all these people that have passed away and you're just picking the brains.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be
But
amazing.
the classic monsters, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Or meeting Carl Emley Jr.
Yeah.
Like at the height of the classic monster era. You know, that would be a cool conversation.
Very cool. Where's Karloff? Where did I first hear of that name?
Boris Karloff?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where'd you hear that from?
We've Brick Baker and some other stuff. We learn all these
Tom Savini.
facts about
Yeah.
these people from somewhere. I don't know, but
Maybe educate me, Johnny.
yeah, we should. You know who's somebody that can educate you about
Ooh, who can
horror
educate
and
me on
makeup?
that?
Let's say
Maybe our next guest can
Maybe our next
educate us
guest
on
can do
horror
this.
and
Is
makeup.
this,
Oh, it's Patrick again.
Again?
Hold on, jeez, I gotta turn the old
Now
ones off,
Scott
apparently.
Garland.
Oh, we know what's coming.
Hey, babe. It's me. It's your wife. And I am sending you a little shout out to say I love you
And
very
she's
much.
driving.
And I'm
I know,
so proud of
through
you,
Universal.
of everything that you have done. And Johnny had reached out and he was like, do you want to give your hubs a little shout out on the podcast? And I said, don't mind if I do. Sure, don't mind if I do. So here it is. Here's your shout out. I love you very much. And I should probably go because I'm driving.
I'll see you when I get home.
That was so nice.
Summer's great. I remember watching her in the horror makeup show with Robin, and I have to say they are my favorite duo when it comes to watching that show. Like
the best.
props to everyone in that show, but Summer and Robin, they are just the funniest.
Yeah.
Just
now-
when they're together, just
Top
the
tier.
absolute
yeah,
funniest.
yeah.
Yes.
And that show's iconic. Like that.
Yeah.
And we did the show together, Summer and I, for years.
What?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you did horror makeup show? That's
Oh
cool.
yeah. She and I worked together from like 99, 2000.
Is this before you were? A
No,
thing?
we were married.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was
That's
pregnant
an
with my
interesting
son.
Dynamic.
She was pregnant with Caden on the stage.
Really?
Yeah. We were,
That's crazy.
but you know, no one knew we were married in the show, obviously, because we're not.
Right.
Alex Ross and
Alex and Marty.
yeah. So or vice versa, depending on the show you see.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That is
We met
awesome.
Nickelodeon in '98. That's where we met, and we were married.
Yeah.
We were married in '99,
Wow.
and
I've seen you in some of the Nickelodeon Studios
Yep.
videos on
Yep.
YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, that's
I truly Universal's given me everything. Like met my wife there, both our kids. You know, it's home. It literally is home.
that is so cool.
That is
I
awesome.
mean, hardly anybody can ever literally say that. you
No,
know?
no, they can't.
It's
This is
rare.
your life.
It's
See, we're
rare.
bringing it all
It's-
back
it's
around.
very-
This is your life, Mike. Thank you, Universal.
It's possible, but it's very rare. And you two are just so awesome
Oh,
together.
she's the best.
You guys are like the purest like human beings I've ever met.
Yeah,
Like
she's
your
the
whole
best.
family is you. I've met Caden before. I haven't met Paige yet, but I have met Caden. Caden is a great kid.
Yeah, he's
So, but
He's
just your whole family, all four of you are just such pure human beings. Like you
appreciate
guys are
that.
great.
you know we have a good time and
Mhm.
and again just trying to figure it all out day by day, right?
Yeah.
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 Very cool. Well, I've got one more. I'm just kidding. I don't.
No.
That's it. That's all we got. That's all we got.
Those were awesome. Those were really
Austin
great.
would have been another
surprises.
one, but
Yeah.
unfortunately I couldn't get that
Yeah,
one. I'm sorry.
this was like
I'm gonna give him hell when I see him.
That's all right. It was.
He might send it eventually, and then I'll
he's
just send it to
busy.
you. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, do we have anything else on our list? Sure. Go ahead and ask that one.
Any other hobbies that you have, like watching any other shows currently? Or...
Oh yeah. So show wise, I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. So I just did a rewatch of that entire series.
Mm-hmm.
But I have.
How does it hold up the second time?
Oh, it is. I'm gonna geek out about Breaking Bad now. Here we go. Breaking Bad is, in my opinion, the greatest written series to ever exist on television. The arc of Walter White from high school chemistry teacher, down and out, and never really living out the dream of being successful, to becoming, spoiler alert, the drug lord that is Heisenberg over 5 seasons, and the fact they didn't really know where they were going, feels like they did the entire time. Like, it's so expertly written from season 1 to 5. So I did that rewatch because I have not watched Better Call Saul, and that is ending this year. So now I'm on to kind of, when I can, rewatching some episodes of that, or watching episodes of that ahead of the new season, I guess, or the final season. So I'm a huge Vince Gilligan fan. He created Breaking Bad, and I just his manner of show running and writing and leading a writing team. Like I've read all the scripts for Breaking Bad. Like I love that show.
Oh, very cool.
So I guess so by proxy, meth is also a habit as well, because the show
Fiction.
teaches you how to do it, and no.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how to smoke crack from Chris Rock in New Jack City. Thanks, Chris Rock. Clip that.
Love that.
No, the show is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I'm a huge fan of that. So that's definitely a passion. Breaking Bad. I play guitar, so I play a little bit piano, but my son has got me beat on that now. And what else? I have a massive comic book collection. More digital now probably than physical, but I still have my entire collection at my house of everything I got when I was a kid.
Oh man, See, I've had to go back and buy all that stuff.
Really?
Like I had to buy like the first appearance of Deadpool and Cable and all. I remember picking those off the shelf, like getting them off the rack. And then as an adult, I'm like, no, I have to pay $400 for this stupid cover.
A lot of stuff I can buy now as an adult that I loved as a kid that I didn't, have the money for as a kid, like back in the 90s. So now I can buy all that as an adult
like
now.
a Power Glove.
Like a,
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Power
Power
Glove.
Glove.
Power Glove. It was how you knew if your
Was that-
family was poor or not
Was that back in the 90s?
growing up.
Was that my time?
Uh,
I didn't
late-
come around.
late
late
80s.
80s, early
Okay, I didn't
90s.
come around till
Yeah.
91.
Yeah.
So
The Wizard. You ever see The Wizard with Fred Savage?
no.
California.
Wow.
Maybe it's been a while, so maybe I don't know.
That's a good movie. And the Power Glove was first featured and the first appearance of Super Mario Brothers 3 was in that movie. They revealed it in that
Okay,
movie.
well,
That was around that they were doing the Nintendo World
my
Championship.
dad,
Did you do that?
No, I didn't never
Oh,
went.
I went to
never
the one in Detroit. I got to the second round.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, my dad had an Atari system, so we played with
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Atari was cool, and the
So
original
Missile
place-
Command and,
Yep.
and Jungle Hunt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haunted
Yep.
House. Yep.
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 I'm also
E.T..
a huge wrestling fan. Like again, I love wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling is the purest form of storytelling.
Yeah, I grew up on WWF before it became WWE. So
Yep.
yeah, I watched The Rock, Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I don't have streaming services now, so I can't watch it live. But I keep tabs on what's going on.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
pretty much, if you just go on Twitter when it's running, they do a running tally of everything that's
that's cool.
happening now. But yeah, I love wrestling. I love everything about it. I think if I wasn't working at a theme park, I'd probably try and work for WWE or some sort of wrestling company to write wrestling storylines, because it's good guy, bad guy, conflict resolution.
Yeah.
That's wrestling. I think Freddie Prinze Jr. has a great podcast, and he got a quote. It's the purest form of art because it's literally blood, sweat, and tears on a canvas.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So love wrestling. I'm a huge mark for.
Yeah.
for-
Ex-boyfriend of mine was into wrestling, so that's how I got into it.
Okay.
We used to go to SmackDown. a
Oh, yeah,
lot,
yeah, yeah.
So we went to go see SmackDown.
Did you have like a favorite wrestler growing up?
Yeah, it was Ultimate Warrior.
Ooh.
Warrior.
Ultimate
huh?
Warrior and Macho Man Randy Savage were my favorites, and then a very close I would say probably close second to first is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, man. No, it's and yeah, I love it to this day. I try and watch every week, even if my best friend wasn't ring announcer on it. I would still watch
That's
every
awesome.
week. You know,
That's cool.
now I watch because it's cool to see him and they're doing his thing. Yeah, no, I love wrestling, all wrestling, AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan. I'll watch anything. Another good friend of mine is Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder for WWE.
Zack Ryder, yeah.
So he left WWE, and man, he's blown up on the independent circuit, just doing his own thing. He's got literally like every belt you could think of right now. He's a champion in like every single company that is independent.
Oh, that's cool.
That's right. He goes to HHN too. There's a lot of
He's a
wrestlers that
massive Harness fan.
that love going to HHN.
Huge Ghostbusters fan.
Yep,
He
yep.
marked out on the maze when we did it that year.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah. So yeah.
That one was just nailed. I mean, holy.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes loves HHN.
Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes,
really?
another good
Cody
friend.
Rhodes of HHN.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
he's awesome. Now back with WWE.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he premiered WrestleMania this just beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he was with AEW for a while, and now look at me, I'm talking about.
I mean, everybody.
There we go.
We got a lot of wrestling fans in the chat right now.
The,
So Alex,
a lot of the wrestlers are
right there
awesome.
with you.
I met Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah,
I've met Enzo.
Yeah.
They're really cool people.
it's funny the correlation of wrestling and theme park. A lot of wrestlers are massive theme park.
They
fans.
are. They
Like,
are. They really are.
That was most of the stuff Scott and I talked about. Scott Garland was
Yeah.
just theme park stuff because he's a huge theme park
Yep.
nut. So there's a lot of wrestlers that just
Like I
love
work
theme
I
parks.
also work at Discovery Cove. A lot of them love coming to Discovery Cove. Alexa Bliss has
Yeah.
been at Discovery
Yeah,
Cove.
yeah.
Yep. And she loves Disney. She's a big Disney nerd.
Aw.
Yep, she loves Disney.
That's
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah. So
Ge-
yeah, I
nerddom
can talk
and
about
geekdoms are
wrestling,
Amazing.
horror, and again, I think I said it in the. I'm a massive magic and illusion fan. I absolutely love magic. It's like one of my guilty pleasures.
So we were talking about movies before we were on the air here. So speaking of that, the Illusionist came out with Edward Norton, and
Yep.
then The Prestige.
I love The Prestige. I have a signed script by Chris Nolan.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
I
just
love
want to
Prestige.
touch that.
It's
And
movie's
that was one of
amazing.
my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I saw as a kid growing up, and I think this is why I actually got into creating stories and shows and just loving the medium of live theater.
Mhm.
Because I wasn't really I didn't like I mean, I love it now, but at the time as a kid, I wasn't really into Broadway shows or really live shows at all. I went to David Copperfield every year. He used to come to Bob Carr every single year. My mom got me tickets every single year. I watched his specials, saw him live anytime he was in town or remotely near Orlando. I've probably seen David Copperfield at the height of his, like, every year doing a special, probably 25 or 26 times.
Wow, that's cool.
I love, and I think that actually grew into my love of like matching audio to elements on stage. The art of creating the story, within 3 to 5 minutes, very theme park timing. We like our shows in 5, 15, 20-minute increments, that kind of idea.
Get people through there.
Yeah. But I mean, just live shows. And a lot of that building blocks, I think, was watching over and over and over and over again those David Copperfield specials and seeing him live, like seeing
him light up.
that.
I love
so
seeing Mike
cool.
light up. It's great. When talking about what he loves and his
Yeah.
passion, I love it.
It's so
So yeah, wrestling, magic, and horror. I was a total nerd growing up.
That's cool.
Oh, and John Cena. I've met John Cena, which he's actually really short in person.
Is he really? I've not met him.
He
No.
came to MegaCon a few
Okay.
years ago, so I met him at MegaCon.
Short?
He's actually short in person.
Is
Yes.
he like taller than me?
He's maybe an inch or two taller than you.
Really?
No, he's not that tall.
A huge
No,
giant peacemaker.
he's
in
really
Suicide
he's
Squad.
really short if you meet him in person. It-
Wow.
yeah.
Well, it's funny. A lot of wrestlers in person aren't as big as they appear.
No, they aren't. No.
on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that all that stuff's just awesome, and
Yeah.
that stuff fills me with joy. It's another friend of mine, a quote that I've lived by since I heard it at one of we used to do these entertainment designer forums. Kim Bromwell used to set those up for American Red
those.
Cross and American
Yeah.
Cancer Society. And there's a brilliant designer who was with the event for a while named Rich West, and he was asked a question kind of about same in terms of like how do you do what you do, and his response was very eloquent and very short. He says, "Follow your bliss." That's it. And like that has resonated with me since the day he said it, and something I like to repeat and tell other people, because that's truly what it is. Anything is about is just trying to follow your bliss and find that. Once you find it, like, just grab onto it as hard as you can and love it for what it is. And it may only ever be that thing and never anything else, but at least you have it and you know what that is. Like, that's really important to find. So yeah, follow your bliss is probably that if I had a bumper sticker,
That's
that was
awesome.
my life. That would
Aw,
be
that's
follow
cute.
your bliss.
Yeah. Look at the time. Oh man. Ah,
This is so much fun though.
I know.
Well,
I
to do it
know.
Again.
We'll have to do
Definitely,
it again because you
definitely.
live. Oh, somebody wants you to say Baba Booey. Is there like an inside joke there for that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Baba Booey. We'll say it. Okay, Baba.
Baba Booey.
Papa
Okay,
Booey.
done,
There you go.
Done.
All right, it's done.
What a lovely tea party. Perfect. All right. Well, Mike.
It's a Howard Stern thing, right?
It is a Howard
Yeah,
Stern
yeah.
thing. Very cool. All right. Well, we will have to have you back
Thank you
on.
so
at some
much
point.
again, Mike. This
Oh,
was
it's
epic.
my pleasure. This was
Sparking
great.
my inner
Thank you.
fangirl
Oh.
moment right here.
And thank you for coming by the studio. That
Of
means a
course,
lot to
no.
us. It's very
I
cool.
wanted to come and see the setup, and
Yeah.
it is impressive. This is
Oh,
like
It's always like great just hanging out with you and talking with you. Like I know
Likewise.
I've met you throughout the years in the parks and stuff, and you're always such a nice guy and just so humble to talk to. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
no,
For your
it's my,
kindness.
my absolute pleasure
Yeah.
to do this and talk with you, and again, to everybody watching and those that gave questions. Hopefully, I gave good answers. But if not, I message me on Twitter. I'm on there. So, but again, I can't thank everybody enough for the passion you have for the event and the parks, and for people, anybody that's just creating, support them. Whether it's me or anyone that's just trying to go out there and do something unique and do something that is from their heart, support them. And that's all you can do.
Very cool. On that note, we'll go ahead and start to wrap this thing up.
All right.
Do you have any shout outs? Do you want to say hi to anybody? I mean, we brought up a lot of people.
Yeah, I want to say shout out to my son Caden, who I don't know if he's watching. He's probably playing Fortnite, or he's playing the new Lego Star Wars game, which he's almost 100% the entire game.
God, is that for Xbox One? 'Cause have
Yeah,
an Xbox
I think
One.
it's out for everything.
Oh,
So Caden,
epic.
I love you, and my daughter Paige, I love her very much. So those
Aw,
are my shout outs.
cute.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all for watching. Mike, hang out for a moment 'cause we'll have a little post game here, but sadly enough, it's time to say goodbye.
Aw.
I don't want to say goodbye either. I want to keep going.
Okay.
But
Well, you don't have to say
yeah.
goodbye. Mike is still here.
Yes, it's true. All right, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and start to wrap this up. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you,
my
Mike.
Appreciate you
pleasure.
so
Thank you.
much. So we got a couple things we got to do. Patreon supporters, thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. You are helping us do the things. John Sebastian Lavelle, Chris Lavelle, Mark Muncie, and Carrie Schultz, Amanda Rosenblatt, and SNR Travel Stories. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please follow HauntScene on everything. We're on everything. Literally
that logo.
everything. HauntScene.com. We have our haunt directory there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Email us if you have any questions. Subscribe to us. Podcast gets put out on all major platforms if I'm not lazy and I actually edit it and put it out there. So we're going to work on that. And before we say goodbye, do you know who the guest is next week?
Enrollment? Enrollment? What?
You mean enthrallment?
Enthrallment, yes.
All right. So we like to do the spooky shows at the Orlando Fringe, which summer has been part of a couple shows
Ooh,
there.
that picture looks like it's gonna be
So
vampires.
it is vampires, it's dark humor, music, sex, murder, vampires. What more could you want?
I
So
love
we're
all.
so we're gonna have some folks on from Enthrallment next Tuesday, May 3rd,
Very
8 o'clock.
cool.
Fringe is coming up. Make sure you get your tickets for that. Very cool. And I'm really excited about Fringe. And I already bought a bunch of tickets. So all right, well,
Let's do it.
let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We already did Waffle House today, so we don't have to go there
Nope,
anymore
we're
today.
good. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate everybody that watches the show and supports us. You are awesome. But that's going to be it for tonight. So until next time, spook easy.
As always, happy haunting. Have a good night, guys.
All
Goodbye.
right, bye-bye.
Give me some treats.